One of the things about big classes is that, as you've mentioned, there are lots of barriers to doing things that are interactive, that you really do have to think in innovative and creative ways. However, technology has been somewhat helpful in that regard. And again, you were one of the pioneers to try out the anteater response system, or the clickers, as a lot of people call them. What sort of impact has that had?
Well, that was really, we started using them the second year that we had actually started the interactive program in the large classroom. The first year we used the technique you taught me, which was to hold up little cards when we asked students questions. Yeah, exactly. You have a yellow card for answer A, blue card for answer B. And that worked relatively well, but our students are of a different generation. They are more in tune with the technology, and so we tried one of the early clicker systems. We were not very happy with it because of technical difficulties. But the new one that we have, which is the radio frequency one, that it works extremely well, and by that I mean the students' responses are recorded accurately and rapidly, and so they feel confident that what they clicked in is actually what's recorded. And how this affected my teaching and the students is very different than how I thought it was going to. So it clearly, I use it for a variety of things. I use it as an engagement tool. I have a wait, wait, don't tell me NPR type question at the beginning of every lecture that ties something in biology news to what we're going to do in the lecture today. And the first thing you'll notice in the class is students come in and they're just sitting around. It's open for about, it closes 1 minute after the class starts. And so they click in, they're talking, sometimes they're talking about that, and sometimes they're talking about something else. There are students that walk into the classroom like this. They don't even look, they just click because they want their click registered. But when we go over the answer and I tell them the correct answer, a huge cheer always goes up from those who got the correct answer, whether they actually knew it or if they just guessed. So that starts off the class with, I think, a reasonable amount of energy, engagement, and they're set to go. And they know that this signals the start of the class. The second thing is we use it throughout the lecture to set up what might be a misconception. So I give them a question about something that I know they don't really understand based on my previous classes. And then I try and teach them the material, and then I give them a chance to answer that question again. That really helps them connect, oh, this is what I thought and this is what I think now. But the most important thing is that they want to see the distribution of responses more than they want to see the correct response.
And why do you think that is?
Because they want to know where they fit in. And this, I started getting an inkling of this early on because it was often that they didn't really care if they got the answer right or wrong. They want to know that they're in the same crowd as the majority of the people. And then when there are 4 answers and it's evenly distributed among the 4, then everybody's happy. If there are 60% that get one answer, wrong or right, and there's the other 40% are distributed among the other answers, they're okay with that. It doesn't matter if it was wrong, they're okay with that. So I thought, well, this is kind of interesting. So then I gave some questions that there would be no reason that I thought that they would need to know the answer. It wasn't biology. I was asking some, they were administrative type questions. And one of them was about students' perception about education abroad programs, because I was trying to gather some information. And I had 3 questions. I wanted to slip them in, go through them quickly. So I put up the first one, and they clicked in, and then I went to put up the second one. They say, what's the distribution? I'm like, do you really care?
Oh, you've trained them
well. Oh yeah, no, they want to see the distribution. And so now I take these clickers, not just to my undergraduate classes, I go all over the country, and use these in teaching other faculty, TAs, etc. And that is the first thing they want to see. Is I ask a very general question always at the beginning, sort of about if it's a group of people from biotechnology. I ask, how many years since you last took a biology class? And so, there's nothing riding on this, yet they all want to know where everybody else in the class is. And so I just did it to a group in a lifelong learning class. The average age was 85 years old. And the first thing they asked me, I just don't show the distribution straight away. I say, I can show, we can show correct answers. This one doesn't have a correct answer. It's just a survey. But do you want to see the survey? Oh, yes. So it is not limited to undergraduates, to faculty, to TAs. It is, I think, general human nature that when you are in a group, you want to know where you fit within that group.
And it's community building as well, which is one of the problems with our large classes, that students feel so anonymous in them.